Okay, thanks, Neil. So I'm just going to chat really quickly. Just in terms of a little bit about the economic impacts as we see it related to the potash industry. So the potash industry has evolved over the last 10 years. The sale of potash permits by the Saskatchewan government has stimulated interest from global players. We have gone from 3 pockets of potash holders, as you can see on this map. It's very poor quality, I apologize, best we could do. In the Lanigan area, the Esterhazy area, and the Belle Plaine area. So over the last 40 years, we've had potash in these areas. But now with the sale of potash permits, we now have permit holders holding permits all the way from Saskatoon down through Esterhazy and back over to Belle Plaine here. So as you can see, there's been developers purchasing these permits, and they're going to be looking to recoup the millions of dollars that they've spent on these permits, and they're going to do that by looking to develop new mines. So the question that this really raises in our minds is whether or not the existing policies being used to evaluate potash projects over the last 40 years still make the most sense for the next 40 years. At the back, if you have time after, there's a map there, and it's noting all the new all the existing mines, as well as the 11 new projects under development, and the ministry is going to give us an update on those. So just in terms of the provincial potash strategy, what we do know is that potash is an investment-driven market. Industry determines the timing of new mine development. The provincial government does have a role to play in reviewing from an environmental perspective once a company has made an application to develop a new mine. What we do know is that not all of these projects are going to go ahead, but how can we ensure that the province picks, or how can we ensure that the best projects are the ones that proceed? And by best, I mean those companies who have the best social license to operate, are the best in terms of minimizing the environmental impacts, are the best in terms of minimizing the impact on local populations, and those who have the best potash resource. So ultimately, potash needs to be managed on behalf of the people so it can continue to be a source of royalty revenue over the next 100+ years. In conclusion, we want you to leave tonight knowing that there's 2 sides to every story. We encourage you to seek out information on your own. Look for credible sources, do some research. The internet is a handy thing. Don't take everything you hear on the street as gospel. Secondly, potash is the people's resource. It belongs to you, all of the people of Saskatchewan. So have a say in how it's developed. On April 4th, we have a provincial election. We believe that the 30-day public review period being held by the Ministry of the Environment should take place after the election, so that when the newly appointed Minister of the Environment is in place, he can participate and hear our feedback firsthand. The way that it's set out is the Ministry of the Environment has to provide us a minimum of a 30-day public review period, and in that 30 days, we have 30 days to review a 1,500-page technical document. We don't think 30 days is enough. We've already formally asked the Ministry of the Environment to extend this to a 60-day. It's at the discretion of the Minister of the Environment. That request is being considered now. As well, as a committee, we're committing to you, the community, that we'll be planning a follow-up forum during that 60-day review period for you to bring forward your concerns. Not everybody's comfortable standing up at a microphone or writing a letter, but we know lots of you guys have feedback and you want to be heard, and we'll help you get that feedback heard. So that's our conclusion. If you want to get a hold of us, here's our contact information. We have a couple posters up. Send us an email, follow us on Facebook, and we can help you answer your questions. And we have tons of research. We'd be willing to share it with all of you.
The podium's too tall for me, so I have to stand inside. Thank you, guys. Next up, we have Corey Hughes from the Ministry of Economy.